Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I hope we've had a wonderful day today. Good evening, Miriam. Good evening, Khadija. Good evening, Fadis. Good evening, Hadiza. And good evening to our speaker, Ms. Deborah. So I would like to wait just a few minutes while more people join, and then we can start. Okay. While we wait for more people to join, I would like to once again welcome us all to yet another session, yet another EmpowerHer webinar session. And I'm very excited about this one. This one, I can't wait to gain a lot out of it, and I hope you are excited too. If you are, let me see your reactions, please. Are we excited? Let me see those reactions. All right. So my name is Fatima Shogeke, and I'll be your host for today for this month's July webinar for EmpowerHer. We have with us a speaker that is honestly so inspiring to me, and I like the fact that I'll be able to learn from her today. So allow me to introduce our speaker, Ms. Deborah Fashida. I don't know if I got the pronunciation. She will be speaking to us on global opportunities, scholarships, networks, and opportunities. And yes, I'm very excited to see how I can bag scholarship because I'm fresh out of school and I would like to see where this will go. And I'm sure many of us are here too, even if it's not on behalf of ourselves, but on behalf of other people that will think will need the scholarships. So allow me to introduce her once again. She is a mechatronics and systems engineering student at Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University. She has a passion for technology, innovation, and creating opportunities that empower young people. She's interested in engineering, sustainability, and emerging technologies, and she's committed to building solutions with real impact in her community and beyond. What makes her especially qualified to take this topic is the fact that she is an IEEE Scholarship recipient. She is a foundation scholar and she is a participant in the Kennedy-Lugar Youth Exchange and Study Program. That is a massive portfolio, honestly. And she has continued to expand her perspective while developing her skills needed to thrive in this increasingly competitive world. And yes, I am very honored to have you here as the speaker, Ms. Deborah, and I'm excited to learn from you, and I'm sure everyone else is as well. So whenever you can turn on your mic and your video now so that we can hear you. Oh, I forgot to mention that she's a TEDx speaker. Yeah, she spoke at the last TEDx that happened about she. So yes, yeah, ready for it today. Mr. Whenever you're able to unmute your mic and let us have you here. While we wait for her, I encourage us, if we have the links to this meeting, I encourage us to share to people that we think might benefit from it, because I think everybody wants to have access to things like this, especially being in Nigeria and being in a state like Bauchi. I think this is a very big opportunity to be able to learn how to network properly and to position ourselves properly for these scholarships, networking, and more global opportunities. So, Ms. Deborah, whenever you are ready, would like to have you to begin the session. Okay, we're going to wait for her to sort the network issues out. Hopefully it's sooner than we think.
Sorry. Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, okay. We can hear you perfectly.
I'm so sorry, my network is very bad. I'm sorry, my network is bad.
All right.
So I'll be sharing my screen.
Okay.
Okay. So, hello everyone. My name is Deborah Fashida. I am a second year student of Mechatronics and Systems Engineering at the Al-Khair Balewa University. And today I'll be speaking to you about going global, scholarships, opportunities, and network. Please forgive me for any background noise. I'm currently in school, so people can be passing by and all. So the next slide. Okay, so I'm here to tell you that the world is more connected right now than any point in human history. And with the right information, with the right mindset, you can access opportunities that once seemed out of reach. And so I'm going to start with, what does going global mean? So some people think that global is just leaving your country or traveling out of your country and only that. But going global means expanding your mindset. It means expanding your skills. It means expanding your network, expanding your opportunities beyond the borders of where you live, beyond the borders of Bauchi State, beyond the borders of wherever you are. And that can happen in three major ways. And before I go into that ways, so going global also means positioning yourself in a way that the world can access you and you can also access the world, right? Like I said earlier, going global can happen in three major ways, and I'm going to break it down. So the first one is exposure, the second one is standards and mindset, and the third one is mobility. All right. So for exposure, going global means exposing yourself to international ideas, international cultures, and international ways of thinking, not limiting your thinking to just where you are. So, and that can happen even if you are still at home, even if you are still in Nigeria. And it can happen through things like online courses, virtual internships, global webinars, or connecting with people from other countries. This seminar you're currently attending, it's helping you build your exposure. So this is just one of it. So you have actually started. And so the next one is about standards and mindsets. Going global is to hold yourself to an international standard, to hold yourself to an international mindset, not just limited by the mindset you currently have or bounded by where you are. So it's not just be thinking, it's not to be thinking about, oh, how can I be best in my locality? How can I be best in Bauchi State? How can I be best in my class? How can I be best in my town? It's you thinking, how can I be best globally? How can I compete globally? How can I compete? How can I collaborate? And how can I contribute at a global level? So it's a mindset shift from local excellence to global relevance. And the last one means mobility. So yes, yeah, it means mobility. This can mean traveling for work, traveling for conferences, traveling for fellowship. But now note that mobility is not the peak. For you to be able to have mobility, you should have the first two, both exposure and standards and mindsets. And without that, you will not be able to be mobile. So mobility is cases where you have to travel for conferences, travel for programs, travel for things like the COP28, all of those programs, the One Young World programs and all of that. But for you to have that, you have to be exposed, right? And have a global mindset, an international mindset. And so here's now my decision. Here's my main definition for you. Going global means building yourself in a way that both your skills, your thinking, your relationships are not limited by your geography. So because I live in Bauchi State should not mean that my dreams should only be in Bauchi State. I should be thinking global at all time. It also means that wherever you are, whether you're staying in Bauchi, whether you're in Lagos, whether you're in another country, in Kenya or in USA, it means that your value is recognized everywhere. I can be based in Bauchi, but I should have value that can be recognized even in Germany, even in Kuwait, globally. So now we're going to the next slide. The next slide is why go global. Sorry. Yes. Why go global? So the next question is, why should I even care about going global? Right? I already know what going global means. So why should I care? So why should a student, a young student, why should a young professional, why should a person, why should a dreamer like you care about going global? Why should I even care about the world? The first thing is perspective. So exposure builds perspective. So when you stay in only one environment, you only see one way of doing things. When you think a certain career path is the only one, and you think certain challenges can't be solved, like, you are bound to the limit of your exposure. I don't know if I put that sentence correctly, but I cannot know more than what I am exposed to. So why go global? If I want to be exposed to more things, if I want to see more than my immediate community, if I want to see what is possible, I have to go global. And so when you see how a student in Kenya or a coder in India, or you hear of jobs that you have never seen before, or people in Brazil, you see how they approach a problem, then your mind opens, and an open mind is the beginning of every major breakthrough. So when I see things that are possible, I see people doing amazing things around the world, my mind is open. Okay, why can't I do that? How can I do that? That opens my mind, and that's the beginning of every breakthrough. So perspective, it makes you see the world differently. It makes you see beyond your local environment. I hope I'm still audible.
Yes,
So
we can hear you clearly.
all right, thank you. The next one is global exposure makes you competitive. It makes you stand out in the global job market. So employers today, whether they are in Nigeria or outside the country, they value people who can work across cultures. They value people who can understand international trends, and they value people who can communicate with diverse teams. They want to see people that can okay, let me just branch a little bit. Across the world, we have different cultures. We have the way different people are brought up. So these employers want to work with people that have the ability to be able to have the ability that can communicate with those people despite their cultural differences, right? And so the things that makes you global also makes you employable. So when you have this competitiveness, when you can understand cultures, when you can understand international strengths, it makes you employable. So it helps you stand out in the global job market. The third one is resources, access to international funding and support. So this is another important reason why you should go global. So there is enormous funding and support available globally. There are so many fundings. Every single day, one funding comes up. As one deadline ends, another one comes up. So there are governments, there are foundations, there are universities, there are organizations all around the world that are looking for talented people to invest in, right? They want to fund your ideas, they want to fund your education, they want to fund your travel, but you can only access that if you go global. You can only access that if you train your mindset to go global. And you can only access these resources if you know about them and if you see yourself as a candidate for them. So I want to go global because I want to know about these things. I want to see myself as a candidate for these things. And the last one is impact. Going global positions you for greater impact. So we have problems in the world, like we all know. Climate change, there's health crisis, there's inequality, we have global problems, right? And all of these problems need global solutions. And when you go global, it's not just about living your community, you're also learning and equipping yourself with the tools to come back and solve problems. So I go global to solve local. I hope you get what I mean. So I learn about these things and I use them to solve problems in my community, in my local community, and then I can now expand outside my community. I can expand nationally, I can expand internationally, right? So it helps you solve problems that cross borders. So just know that going global is not to escape your roots, but it's to help you expand your impact. So it's about enlarging your capacity, so that your life, your career, and your impact can be bigger than your current circumstances. So we're now going to look at the practical gateway to going global. And the first thing we're going to look at is, the practical gateway to going global. And the first thing we're going to look at is scholarships, right? So a scholarship is just essentially free money for your education, although I will not call it free because you also have to invest your time, because if you are not actually doing well, you are probably going to be terminated from whatever scholarship you get. But it's like a free money for your education. So scholarship can cover your tuition fees, it can cover your living costs. Some scholarships give you stipends, right, to every month or every week, depending on their plans. It can cover your travel. Some expect you to travel when you go to a new place, to move around, to see new things. Covers your books, covers your health insurance, and sometimes your flight ticket. Some give you flight tickets. And the thing to understand is that scholarships are not only for geniuses, and they are not only for genuinely poor people. Scholarships are for everyone. So when you see a scholarship to apply for, don't be like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be eligible for this thing. Please apply. It pays to apply. Always have this at the back of your mind. Even if you not getting, just always know that it pays to apply. So there are different scholarships for many people and for many different profiles. And I'm going to be looking at the types of scholarship. So there's merit-based scholarship. There is so merit-based scholarships are scholarships that are normally awarded for academic excellence, leadership, or people that have special talents, right? So that's just what merit-based is. It's given on merit to people that deserve it. Then there's need-based. So need-based scholarship is given to people based on your financial situation. And then government-funded scholarships is offered by governments to attract international students. Example of these scholarships are the Chevening Scholarship. The Chevening Scholarship, that's from the UK. So it's the the UK government that is doing that. Then the program I attended, the Kennedy-Lugar Youth Exchange and Study Program, it was a high school program. So we spent 10 months in America. That one is also funded by the US government. So these are types of government funded. Then we also have the DAAD from Germany, and we also have the Commonwealth scholarships for countries that are under the Commonwealth. So these are just specific types of government funded scholarship. There are so many. There's some to Australia and all of that. So all of these things are there. You just have to go out and find the information. Then we have university specific scholarships. So individual universities actually keep money aside to attract the best global talents. For example, I'm going to use USA as my case study because I know a little bit about like their university scholarships. Universities like MIT, like Harvard, they give full scholarships to young people that perform exceptionally well, whether it's for undergraduate, master's, postgraduate, or whatever. So this is a type of university specific scholarship. And for you to get all these scholarships, just look at any school that you find about that you are interested in and go to their international section and see if they actually give scholarships to people. And so there's subject specific or region specific scholarship. So there's scholarship for women in STEM, women interested in science, technology, engineering, or mathematics. There are scholarships for people that want to go into climate change. There are scholarships for students from developing countries. And so there is something for every single person. So please don't put yourself down when you're applying for things like that. So we're going to look at what committees look for when you're applying for scholarships. They look for academic ability, but like I said, this is just the baseline. You don't, if you don't, let's say you have graduated from university and the score you got or the grade you have is not what you think you wanted to have or what to put you out there, please don't beat yourself. That's just the baseline. Sometimes, so I'm going to use universities again in the US. They practice something called the holistic method to check people they admit. All right. So even if I'm a C grade student in school, but I have like exceptional skills, I have like extracurricular activities like volunteering, leadership skills, and all of that. All of these things complement each other. So leadership potential. Have you led anything? Where it can be a student club, a community project, a team, anything. Have you led anything? They want to see that you can influence others. They want to see that you can mobilize others. They want to see that you can lead things, lead initiative. Another thing they look for is a clear vision. They will ask you, why this course? Why this country? And okay, you come, so they'll ask you that, why do you want to study here? Right? And what will you do with it after? Sometimes some people give answers like, I want to study here because I want to go abroad. If admission officers see all these kind of things, they're just going to throw your document aside. You have to give them an actual vision. Okay, this is what I want to do, and this is what I want to do when I'm done with this, whatever I am doing. And so if you cannot answer all these kind of questions clearly, your application will be weak, even if you have a perfect CGPA. please note that even if you have a perfect CGPA and you don't have things like leadership potential, clear vision, community impact, volunteering, your application may be weak. They want somebody that is balanced. They want a holistic application. So this is just some examples. Like I mentioned, there's the Chevening, that's a scholarship to the UK. There's Fulbright. Fulbright is like there's a Fulbright scholarship. There's Erasmus Mundus. Erasmus Mundus is I think it's in Europe, and it depends on the program. There are some so you school across 2 or 3 European countries, right? There's that to Germany. There's Commonwealth Scholarship. There's the Australia Awards, and there's MEXT. MEXT is to Japan. There's also GKS, the Global Korean Scholarship to Korea. There's just so many of them. I can't even list all of them off my head. So these are just some advice I have to give you when you're applying to scholarship. The best advice I'm giving you today is to research. And what do I mean by research? Let's say I'm interested in the Chevening scholarship, right? The first thing I should do is to go online and search, what is the Chevening scholarship? I'll go through their website. I'll read every single thing about their website. I'll go on YouTube. Please make YouTube your best friend. Most of the people that have participated in these scholarships, they go to YouTube and they make videos. They will see things like how I got the Chevening scholarships, and they explain all these things, all these steps to you. So please make your research, know what they want. Let's say you're applying for an internship and all of that. Look at the organization you're applying for, know what they want, and then you tailor your application to what they want. So always make your research. That's the first thing to do. In whatever you are doing, go on Google and search what this thing is about and look at what they need, right? The next thing I'll tell you is invest time in your personal statement. Most of these things require things like personal statement or motivation letter, right? So we're not going to go that deep into writing personal statements or motivation letter, because that needs like a whole new session on its own. A motivation letter or personal statement shows them who you are, what you are going to do with the scholarship they are giving you, and how it will help you. They want to know where you are coming from. They want to know your vision. They want to know your plans. And those are the things that personal statement does. And one advice for that is show and not tell. Show and not tell. And what do I mean by show and not tell? When you're writing it, don't say things like I'm a hardworking student. That is telling. You have to show them. Show how you were a hardworking student. Okay, rain was falling and I had all of this. And so they want to see your personal stories. Show and not tell. And then most of these require a reference letter. So please choose your referees wisely. The people that will write reference for you. And the kind of reference letters they should write are not generic things. What do I mean by generic? Some lecturers or some people just write one type of recommendation letter for everybody. Oh, I know this person, she's my student, and I'm recommending her for this scholarship. That's all. They don't want those things will not stick with those people's head, right? They should write non-generic things. They should write about you. Like when I was applying for this IEEE scholarship that I won, I had to sit down. Because my lecturers were like, how will he write the recommendation letter? The first thing I asked him was that when he sees me, like, because I've interacted with him a lot of times, that what does he think about me? What kind of student does he think that I am? And that is what he put in my recommendation letter. Sorry, I changed the slide. And that is what he put in my recommendation letter. So these are just some advices. So please, you just Google about all these things, make your research, right? And so scholarships are more available than most people think. There are so many scholarships out there, but most people disqualify themselves before even trying to apply. So please don't be most people. Today, just know this quote: it pays to apply. Even if they will say no, just apply. Some of these things, right, trains you for other things. Okay, let me tell you, before I came to ATBU, I actually applied to universities in the United States, and I didn't get into any, right? And for each of them, I had to write essays. I knew I spent time, I spent my energy, I also spent money, I spent resources in applying. But then all of the skills I gathered in writing all those essays, you see, it helped me. And I think I used that skill in my IEEE scholarship because they required an essay, and you see, I won. So it always pays to apply. So the next thing we are going to is opportunities beyond scholarships. Scholarships are not the only things. So there's going global. There's also internships. There's exchange program. There's fellowships. There's conferences, volunteering, online certifications, competitions, and hackathons. So we're going to look at them one by one. So scholarships are amazing, of course, but they are not the only door to global spaces, right? And some of these things don't even require a plane ticket. So let's look at internships. So companies and organizations offer international internships, both virtual and in person. Now I'm going to go back to research. Was it yesterday or so? I saw a guy on X. I've forgotten his name. He's actually in final year in Unilag, but he's in Singapore. He was doing a research internship, and I was confused as how he got it. And then he posted the name of his school, so I went on Google and I searched the name of his school, National University of Singapore, and I saw that they actually offered research internship to undergraduate students. So if I didn't do research, I won't even find out, or if I didn't go and go more detailed, I won't find about that. So internships can happen whether virtual or in person. So you can even get access to professors or people outside Nigeria, and they can train you virtually. You don't even have to travel over there. And some of these internships, they actually cover your flights, they cover your feeding, they cover everything, while some of them don't cover. For those that don't cover, you can ask them, can I do it virtually, or can you cover it? All right. The next thing is exchange program. The one I went for in the United States is an exchange program. So it was for 10 months. So there are also exchange programs for university students. There are exchange programs for professionals, right? And so sometimes you pay fees to study there. Sometimes they do it for free. Like for university, I think there's one to Chapel in, I've forgotten the name of the school in the United States, but it's for university students. So there are fellowships. Fellowships are like professional scholarships. So these fellowships, they fund you to do research in whatever field you are in. They help you to lead a project or develop professionally. So examples of fellowships are the Mandela Washington Fellowship, YALI. I think they spent 3 months in the United States. They train them on leadership, development, all of those things. And then there is there's Atlas Corps. There are just so many of them, right? And so let me just give you a tip of what I used to do. So let's say I'm interested in a specific field. So I go to LinkedIn and look for people in that field, the same as me, right? And then I see all the programs they have applied for, all the programs they got into, places they travel to. So I look at that, and then so I don't know if I should call this stalking or academic stalking. So I look at that and be like, okay, I'm interested in these things. So I personally do my research and then apply to these things. So this is just an example of how you find these opportunities. The next one is global conferences and summits. So every year, organizations host youth summit, climate conferences, leadership forum. I think there's one going to happen in November also, the One Young World Conference. I've been seeing the application everywhere. So if you are interested in, or if you are doing something non-profit, volunteering, all of that, you can look at that and apply to. And many of them offer fully funded slots. So they pay for your accommodation, your feeding, and for your travel. And then there's volunteering abroad. You can volunteer with programs like UN, ASEC, and other NGOs. Even you don't even have to go abroad. Please start volunteering here in Bauchi State. It's some of the things that you do local that will also take you global, because they are building track records for you. And so there are also online global programs like IBM, courses from Harvard, courses from MIT that can help build your knowledge. And there are also competitions and hackathons. There are so many of them. So case competitions, essay competitions, global hackathons, competing with people all over the world. And some of them give you money if you win. You see some of them, $10,000 for the winner, $5,000 for the winner. So you just have to find all these things. So now notice something, that all of these things I mentioned don't actually require you to leave your home right now, but it helps you build your profile. Remember, I said exposure and mindset. After that, you can now work on mobility. It helps you build that profile. So when I'm applying to things that will make me travel, I already have what to show, what I have already done. All right. So you can be building a global profile from your bedroom, taking an online course, or even doing a virtual internship. I think in 2024, I did a research internship because I was in Bauchi then, but then the person I was matched to was a professor in Unilag. So you see, we're far apart, but I was still able. She also mentored me on my research project. So that's just some of it. So going global begins with a curiosity and action. Please do not only be curious, also take action. And so where to find opportunities like this? Okay, I didn't write it here. Where to find opportunities like this? You can find them opportunity desk, that's one. Youth opportunities, scholarship positions. You can just search all of this online. You can follow news. Please sign up to their newsletter. If you see a program you are interested in, and for example, the program is their deadline has passed, but you think you are still eligible for it next year, sign up for their newsletter. Once the program starts next year, you will see it in your email that, oh, this program has already started. LinkedIn, please optimize LinkedIn. Look at profiles of people that have already done these things. Follow organizations, follow people that have already done these things. Then university international offices. You can just send an email to anybody and most of them will respond. All right. So you can send. When I was applying for this IEEE scholarship, I looked at all the past winners and I sent an email to 3 persons. Explain that they should please show me how they should teach me how they won, like how did they write their essays, what are the things they did. And 2 out of 3 people responded, and you see it helped me a lot because I looked at what they did. They showed me that, okay, don't make this mistake, don't do this thing, and I applied it to my own case. So the next one is networking. This is the real game changer. So you may know about all the scholarships and opportunities in the world, but many of them will not just apply on websites. They travel through people. The IEEE scholarship that I won, it was the IEEE chair of FCBU that told me about the scholarship. I didn't even know something like that existed. He just sent the link to my DM. So they travel through people, and this is why having a network matter. So many young people think that networking is fake. They think that it's just people sharing business cards, people just pretending. But networking is simply building genuine relationship, genuine professional relationship. So it means that people know who you are, they know what you care about, they know what you are capable of doing, and they know what you do. And when they see something, right, that let's say they see an opportunity, they'll be like, oh, I know this person, she does this and she cares about this, so I'm just going to send it to her. So this is why network matters in a global space. So someone can tell you about a scholarship before the public deadline so you can practice and write your things well. Someone can refer you for an opportunity that you don't even know existed. Someone can write a strong recommendation letter because they genuinely know your work. They know how good you are. And you can find mentors that will guide your career because mentorship is very, very important. And you can find friends, you can find peers, people that are age mates with you that can help you to push your dream bigger. So how to build a global network? The first thing, you can start on LinkedIn. Have an intentional LinkedIn presence. I personally, I don't like social media. I don't like LinkedIn. But then in the world today, we have to have these things to show what we are doing because we need to be visible, right? So have a good profile that shows what you are doing, your skills and all of that, and share topics. Share your thoughts on topics you care about, and connect with people in the field you are interested in. Please be careful about what you post online. Even if it's joke or banter or anything like that, be careful about what you post online. Some people look at it and be like, oh, this person posts this kind of thing, so I'm not going to help them. So what you post should don't insult anybody or those kind of banters they do on X and all of that. Be careful because there's digital footprint. You may apply for something and they'll be like, oh, it's not this person that said this thing. So be intentional about what you post online. I think that's the good thing you should do. And when you are when you are texting somebody on LinkedIn, don't just go to them and say, oh, I'm interested in this scholarship. No, just talk to them. Oh, hi, I saw you and I saw that you work in this field and I would love to follow you. I would love to learn from your journey and all that. And people are willing to help. Just please ask. Next thing is to leverage alumni network. So there are people that work in your school or university that are now ahead of you, right? And they are often willing to help. So you can reach out to them, even if it's just 10 minutes. Just ask for their opinions, for their helps, and they'll be able to support. So when you attend, also the third one is attend webinars, conferences, and events with purpose. Don't attend conferences for attending sake. Attend them with purpose. So don't just attend and leave. So ask a question, follow the speaker. If you are interested in what the person is doing, talk to them, build a genuine relationship. The fourth one is be a giver and not a taker. I'm going to be very heavy on this one. Please provide value. When you don't provide value, when you're only taking, people are not going to value you. And sometimes they'll even snub you when it's time to ask things. Please provide value. Even if you see an opportunity that is related to what the person does, even if you are there for the person to help you, send it to the person. Help people with their application. Just show value, right? Provide value. Be a giver. And so your network is like a channel for your potential. And so, yeah. The next one is how to position yourself. Now we have discussed about what global, going global means. How can I grow global? The types of the pathways to grow global. So now we're going to look at how to position myself. How can I get these opportunities? Number one, audit yourself. Please work on yourself. Hone your skills. Know your skills so much that you can even compete in a global world. Like, learn it so very well, like the in and out. I think most of us, we see people doing extraordinary things online and we're like, I want to be like that person, but we cannot sit down and learn our skills. Please sit down, even if it takes 2 years, 3 years. Please hone your skills so well. If you know your skills so well, people will look for you. All right, so hone your skills, then build leadership. Volunteer, lead, organize. When people are hosting things, oh, can I help? Can I help out? How can I volunteer? Some of these things teach you leadership skills. It teach you how to relate with other people. So improve communications. Look at where you're lacking in your social skills, whether in English or digital skills, how to use a laptop and things like that. Improve your communication. Then prepare documents early. So for this, sorry, I'm always referring to the IEEE Scholarship. I started preparing like 3 months before it. Like, I started writing my essays before that, because you can keep refining and seeing where you're making your mistake. So whatever CV, if you need your transcript, do not wait to the deadline. Sometimes you wait to the last day and you see the website crashed. Do not wait to the deadline. I'm also telling myself that, because sometimes I deal with procrastination and all of that. But do not wait to the deadline, all right? And then create small opportunities. We are all quick to point out problems around us, problems in our community. I think it is good to point out problems, but after that, ask yourself, how can I solve this? Right? And if it's something that you can do, start a project. Let's say you look at your community and there are illiterate kids there, and you keep wondering, why are these kids not going to school and all of that? If it's to even start after school lesson for them, to teach them just basic arithmetic, basic English, that's just a project you have started. And some of these things, when you're applying for programs, you tell them, oh, I helped this thing, I did this thing, and all of them, they're just building like a profile for you. And apply consistently. If people tell you that you will not be rejected, they are lying. You will apply to 50 and you only get 1 yes, but that 1 yes matters. So apply consistently. As time goes on, you'll be rejected. Some you will get in, some you'll be rejected, but keep applying. Some of these things help build you. Don't be discouraged, right? Then what else? Yeah, apply. So let me leave you with this. The world is full of resources. There are billions of dollars in scholarship. There are thousands of fellowship of programs, right? And so there are networks waiting to meet talented people like you. So you have to build the bridge between you and those opportunities. So it is good to have information. Like I said, information plus preparation plus courage is equals to your global gateway. If you are informed, that's wonderful. Then you have to be prepared. Prepared means you have started building yourself from now. So when all these opportunities come, you just attack them, right? And then you are courageous. Don't tell yourself no. Let them tell you no. So anytime you see an application, please apply. So don't wait until you're 100% ready, because you will never ever feel ready. So just start small, but still start. Okay, because global opportunities are for everybody, and we here at this side of the world, we have to stand up and get these opportunities, and you can begin right now. So thank you so much. I hope you have learned a lot. So this is my account, Deborah Fashida. This is my LinkedIn, Deborah Fashida, Instagram, Fashida Deborah, X, Deborah Fashida. So basically all my social media is just my name and my last name, Deborah Fashida. So you can do well to connect. So thank you so much. I hope we all learned a lot. And if you have any questions, I'll be willing to answer them.
Wow, that was actually a wonderful session. And honestly, like I'm ready. I'm ready to take over the world now. I'm ready to go global, and I think we all are too. I think I saw your finger up. I saw a hand raised. So I think someone had a question when you were rounding up. And I'm hoping that everybody else also has questions, because I have questions myself. I don't imagine that we've all gotten all the information, like we are ready to start with the information she has given us. I believe that we have questions. So please, if you can unmute your mic where you are, if you can speak where you are, raise your hands. If you can't, let us have your questions in the chat box and I'll read it out for our speaker. And in the meantime, I want to say a very big thank you to Ms. Deborah for taking out time to come and speak with us on this topic that you are definitely, like, you really know your onions. Honestly, it's so obvious, and we are grateful to have you here. Let me take my own questions while people bring up theirs, because I know that they just need encouragement. And I believe that with these questions I'm asking, some people will also get their answers. I particularly love the part where it says scholarships are not only for geniuses or poor people, because wow, not all of us are geniuses. Let me just put that there. So I'm glad that some of us have a shot at scholarships. Right. And then I was about to ask where we can get the information for the scholarship, but I think you answered that. You ran through that. But then again, if you have more, if you have more specific information about where you can access the scholarships, I would love to have you say that. Then I would like to know, is there any safety precautions we should take when we are researching for these scholarships? Because, we are dealing with links out here. And then I imagine that Nigerians can be skeptical about just clicking anyhow links. And I imagine that some people who have gotten some scholarships, who have seen scholarships they want to apply for, maybe when they put it to their parents or something, their parents are like, because they are like less informed than the applicants are, the parents might want to discourage them because it's just a link and it could be a scam. Like, I just feel like there's going to be a lot of restrictions in people's minds when it comes to these scholarship links. So is there something that we should look out for? Do you have any experience with that? Do you have anything you would like to share with us on that regard?
All right. So okay, I think you should go through legit sources. Of course, there are so many scams out there. Some of them will ask you to pay money. Like, when I see scholarships that require me to pay money, I used to think twice first, because some of them I don't even apply to them because I don't trust them. So when things ask you to pay money, please don't trust them unless you are very, very, very sure. All right. So let's say you see a link online and you may feel, okay, maybe it's a scam or something. Please go to YouTube or go and search them on LinkedIn, right? Search the program on any social media platform. And most of these scholarship bodies will have like social media accounts where they post their students, they post what they do. They have like a very active social media, and you can see alumni that can actually come out and testify about it. So talk to people about it, talk to their alumni about it if you are not sure about it. Don't, when you see a program that is just shady, they don't have any social media presence, they are just if you have not seen any notable alumni from it, you have searched online, you can't find anything, then there's a comma there. But you can search online for their alums, you can search for their social media accounts, right? So I think that will help to be able to ensure that it is legit. Like for my exchange program, like my parents were first skeptical. Oh, because I didn't even tell them I was writing the exam. I didn't even know I was writing the exam. I was picked on a Saturday to go and write the exam, and they were skeptical. They're like, "You passed the exam, and you're going to USA for 10 months, and there are things like human trafficking and all of that." But then they looked at notable alums. They had like a very structured organizations, like people you could actually meet, and they had like active social media accounts. You could see the things that they do. So that was one thing that helped my parents so that, okay, this is legit. So I think that's something that you should also look into. Thank you.
Right. I think that's like very explanatory enough. Thank you so much. And you mentioned tidbits of how you got your scholarship, but if you don't mind, could you like run us through step by step what the discovery process was for you up to selection and the whole experience there? Would like to hear it.
All right. Sorry, is this for the Sorry, this place is noisy. Is this for the IEEE Scholarship or for my exchange program? Sorry.
I think we would prefer to hear either. This I've not had opportunity to hear from someone that has actually gotten those kinds of opportunities. So I would like to hear from you. Just pick anyone that you think you'd like to share.
All right. So maybe I can start. I can even do both, but let me start with the one where I went to the USA for 10 months. So this was I think we had about 5 stages, right? So the first one was they will select the students in your school, like 5 students from your school, to go and write exams where we compete against other secondary school students in Bauchi State. I wrote the exams at General Hassan here opposite ATBU. So that was the first stage. Of course, I was scared because I I didn't even prepare for it. So there was 2 parts. There was the math and then the English. The English, they asked us about our interests and all of that. So I told them, and I feel like one thing that made me got selected was because, okay, I forgot to say this, was because I didn't only say I was applying for myself. I showed how I was going to give back. Like when I come back, I'm going to give back to my community. This is the reason why I want to go there. I want to go there because I want to impact my community. So that was just like it. So after the next stage, I had to then prepare for the next one because I knew that, okay, I was having something. The next one we had to do IELTS, and so I didn't have a phone then, so I used my mom's phone and I just practiced online. It was just English, yeah, IELTS. So there was the speaking session and then there was the writing session. So the people that are leading the programs are actually the alumni, right? So so they trained us because they have done it before. They showed us how it happened, how they do it. So they told us how to practice, right? So after that, I moved on to the next stage, which was the interview stage. So the interview stage, I had to talk with people in, I think, in both in Nigeria and in the US. So I they just asked you about yourself. Before that, they asked you to write an essay, fill certain documents. So please, when you are doing those things, please be very, very, very honest, because some people write one and then they contradict themselves when they are doing another thing. So I really told them about my interest. I told them about the things I didn't know and the things I wanted to learn and my whatever I liked. So that was that. And I hope, thank God, I was selected. And then I think, what was the next stage? Okay, the next stage was when we had to go to Abuja and prepare for the visa interview and all of that. Because some people get dropped during visa interviews. So I had to listen very well during the orientation. So on how to answer questions during the visa interviews and all of that. So that was that. I mean, it was a fun and a scary because and when they were bringing the news about the people that passed, the teacher always, I think, mess with us. He'll be like, nobody passed, and I'm like, I'll be so sad, and then he'll just say, oh, this person passed, or you passed. So it was like, I don't know, it was a roller coaster of emotions. I was happy, and then when we were leaving Bauchi State, I was happy, and then I was sad. And so my mom was crying, and I didn't want to cry. I was doing big girl. I didn't cry. It was when I entered because we had to go to Abuja first, so we could fly. So on our way to Abuja, I didn't even know when I started crying. So that was pretty much fun. Then for the IEEE scholarship, like I said, when one when Ebube sent me the link, sorry, he's the chair of IEEE ATBU. So at first I didn't even look at it. So after I think about a week, I had to go back and read about the scholarship because it's on systems engineering and I'm studying mechatronics and systems engineering. And so they said, I think the question was, how do you think this scholarship is going to help your academic journey? Or what do you want to do with mechatronics and systems engineering and all of that? And it has to be technical. I've never written anything that technical before. So I had to do research. I first looked at it. Then they also have a website where they display their past winners. So that was where I was able to get the emails of the past winners, right? And so I think I submitted January 1st this year. January 1st. Yes, January 1st. And I forgot that I applied to it. And then March 10th, I just received that email. God, I started screaming because it was, I think only 2 people were selected in the world. I was the first, I was one, and the other person was in, I think, University of Chicago in the US. And it was just like an insane experience. I was so happy because I received so many no's before then. Like, I'm not joking. Like this year, I started keeping track of all the no's I've received. And so it was just wonderful. It was a wonderful experience. So yeah. Thank you.
Wow, honestly, I can imagine the shock being selected, and you guys are just 2 that were selected in the world. That is insane. Wow, that's very good. So it's good that we're able to hear about that. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you for the time. Thank you for a wonderful session. And I believe that that enjoyed this session. Unless you have a question, let's keep our mics muted. Thank you. Okay, and so, do we have any more questions I would like to ask? I will be giving a grace of just 1 minute, 1 minute for us to like raise up our hands, or you can raise up your hands so that we can like wait for you to, whether you want to unmute or you want to type your messages in the your questions in the messages box. So I'll just give a grace of 1 minute so that we can continue, and I'll be waiting. Okay, so in the absence of any questions, Ms. Gladys, please help us with your mic. All right, so in the absence of any more questions, we would like to once again Ms. Deborah. Minutes. We're just going to have to round up with Ms. Gladys, please can you help us with your mic? Mrs. Gladys, rather. All right, thank you. Thank you so much. All right, thank you so much, Ms. Deborah, for your time, for your knowledge that you have impacted. And I would like to actually make one request to everyone that joined and stayed till this far. Please kindly drop your emails in the chat box before you exit the meeting. Please, you can start doing that now. Drop your emails in the chat box. There we'll be sending the recordings from this webinar and other resources that would help you get started on this particular conversation. Other resources that will help you start taking action. All right, thank you. them come in, please, while we round up. Okay. So while we get the messages, Ms. Deborah, if you have any closing line for us, any closing advice, I'd personally love to hear it. If you have just one last thing to say. So yeah. And then maybe I should put it this way. If there was something you could say to someone that was just starting out looking for global opportunities today, let's say you have a sibling or a younger friend, someone that is just starting out right now, what would you tell them? What is the piece of advice that you would give to them?
All right, so I think I'll say two things. The first one is, I've always been saying it pays to apply, right? And then the second one is, please don't handpick opportunities. Okay, you can handpick them in relation to your interest, right? But don't handpick opportunities in terms of how big they are. How will I put it? So some opportunities are not as big as some others. For example, some leadership opportunities may be virtual, while some may be in person, where they cover all your funded things, right? And so you'll be like, oh, because I want to go for that one, I won't apply for this one. Please also apply for that one. Some of these things these little ones are the ones that build your profile for you to be able to get into those bigger ones. So don't handpick them in terms of how big they are. So when you see things that are in your interest, just apply for them. Even if they're not going to give you stipends, even if they're not going to take you out of the country, even if it's just a virtual program, still do it, because you're going to gain experiences from them. And sometimes when you're applying for bigger ones and they see that, oh, you're an alumni of this smaller one, they'll see that you have done something wonderful. They'll see that you have participated in similar programs, and then they may select you. So that's one advice or two advice. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for that wonderful advice. And I believe that many of us have also learned from it. And if this was a wonderful session, please let me see those reactions. Let's give reactions. Let's appreciate our speaker for today. And I hope this is something that we have learned enough to go and share with others, so that they can also benefit from it. So I'd like to thank you all once again for coming for this webinar, for showing up, and I believe you've learned. I believe it has been worth your time. Thank you once again to our speaker. I know I've said thank you so many times. It's just that's how impactful you've been. Thank you for coming. Thank you for honoring us, and thank you everyone for the last time for joining this webinar. We hope to see you again next month, and do enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.